Hey everyone, I'm here to just give you a quick lesson on dashes and using dashes to strengthen your writing, called Deash-tastic. First we'll talk about what a dash is. A dash is a punctuation mark that is used especially to show a break in thought or in the structure of a sentence. Many times the dash is used to replace a comma but provide emphasis that's not gained by the use of a simple comma. Now I'll tell you a few ways that you could use a dash in your own writing. The first is to emphasize parenthetical ideas. If information is closely related to the rest of the sentence, use commas to separate the two ideas. But if the information is not so closely related, parentheses or dashes are better. Parentheses, however, work as an aside to the information in the sentence, whereas the dash emphasizes the information. Here's an example. This is from Stephen King's On Writing. I saw the needle in his hand. It looked as long as the ruler in my school pencil box, and tensed. So here the sentence is, I saw the needle in his hand and tensed. But the parenthetical idea is that it looked as long as the ruler in my pencil box. And he's using that comparison to emphasize the size of the needle. The dashes are highlighted in green, and I'd also like to point out the highlighted yellow. That's a hyphen. A hyphen's used to connect two words or to create a word, such as the title of this lesson, Deash-tastic. There is a hyphen used to connect the word dash with tastic. Also use dashes to clarify. Sometimes the reader needs just a little more information to get the point, but not enough that you would need another sentence. So here's an example from J.D. Salinger in Franny. The letter was written, typewritten, on pale blue notepaper. He's clarifying here how the letter was written. It was typewritten, so it was typed. And the dashes are highlighted in green again, and you'll see there's another hyphen in there. A lot of times hyphens are confused with dashes, but remember, a hyphen connects two words. You can also use a dash to link two parts of a sentence. Using a dash to link two parts of a sentence can make the sentence stronger than using a semicolon. Here is another Salinger example, this time from Zooey. He laughed uproariously, you know, the way Orientalists laugh. And those two things are related. The Orientalist, he's emphasizing or, further discussing the way that the person laughed. So used a dash for this. And the last way I will show is to create a pause in dialogue. And this will be something that is easy for you to implement in your work because we've decided that all of your narrative pieces need to include dialogue. So maybe you could use a dash in that portion of your writing. Sometimes an author wants to show a pause in speech rather than tell that there is a hesitation. And dashes are also used to create pauses in poetry. We will see with Emily Dickinson, she loves using the dash to create pauses within her poems. But here's an example from Kurt Vonnegut from Slaughterhouse-Five, where the speaker says, "Listen," I said, "I'm writing this book about Dresden. I'd like some help remembering stuff." It shows his hesitation to ask someone who was there with him to help him put this stuff together, instead of just saying, "Listen," I said, pausing or with a pause. We know from the dash being there that there's a pause after he says, "Listen." So just to recap, use a dash to emphasize parenthetical ideas, clarify information, link two parts of a sentence, and create a pause in dialogue. Now I'd like you to go back to your work and see where you could put a dash in to strengthen some dialogue or emphasize some information.